LEGO Marvel Series 2 has just been revealed, and they are in boxes now, unfortunately. Noah, your thoughts on this?
I think the boxes are lame, bags are cool.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's get started with the ideas.
Easy way to start, I guess, is with Agatha. I will admit, the very first time that I saw her, the character I immediately thought of was Mother Gothel from Tangled.
That's a solid choice. What other ideas do you have for Agatha?
I only had one more with the expression she's making, and that is Missy from Doctor Who.
Yo! That's so good.
The head looks kind of devious. I was thinking of Superwoman from the Crime Syndicate.
What I really honed in on was the dark eyeshadow. The idea that I had was the Angelica Houston version of Morticia Addams.
Hawkeye is up next. The hairpiece. I've actually been working on a LEGO idea set for NSYNC, and I think that Clint Barton's hair could be used for Lance Bass.
That's genius.
Or you could even use it for like a modern day Nick Carter. Basically, it kind of screams boy band in my opinion.
Could use that for any member of, what's the boy band from Gravity Falls?
Several times, Lance Bass voices the members.
So Clint's hair would work for probably any of them because they're all clones. But specifically Reggie C. Speaking of that hair, what's funny is that we were kind of in the same vein of like early 2000s pop culture, because I think that hair would work really well for either Padawan, Anakin, or Obi-Wan.
Did either of you see Suicide Squad Hell to Pay?
I've seen enough clips to have seen most of it.
Same here. It's a very specific Dr. Fate in that movie, different from any other incarnation that we've known, especially him unmasked. Also, Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat.
You could use this hairpiece for Justin from J-Stu.
Holden, I'm actually surprised that you didn't mention our favorite character of all time.
Who?
Homelander.
Dang it.
Another option for the face specifically, Teddy Sears's Jay Garrick from season 2 of The Flash.
I also think the head could be used for Gordon Ramsay.
Yo, even the hair could be used for Gordon. The only other idea that I had for him was the torso is somewhat similar to Beast Boy.
I've checked the folders for all three of us on both of the Hawkeyes, and there's two characters that we all feel that the Hawkeyes would be perfect for. Huntress and Spoiler. Another one that could work for Kate Bishop is Zam Wessel.
I love Zam Wessel. Definitely one of my favorite bounty hunters. I didn't recall what colors the character Cupid wore, and I saw that there was a children's animated short with Cupid, and she did wear a purple costume. I really like that scarred head, and I think it would work really well for the character Cammy from Street Fighter.
What about you, Holden?
This head could also be used for Lucy Hale.
Yes.
I mean, back to Clint. Let's talk about that owl.
Oh, yeah, going back to the owl.
It's quite the hoot.
I'm so tempted to leave the call.
I just think it's a cool piece. No ideas here.
Oh, okay.
Owls are cool.
Owls are very cool.
So, what kind of combinations do you guys have for Moon Knight? One of the most obvious is Ezio from Assassin's Creed for Moon Knight's hood.
You could use the head for Hush, Negative Man, Unknown Soldier. It's kind of weird how many mummy characters there actually are.
I have it on mine for the Invisible Man from Universal.
I thought of a really abstract way to use that head. I want to use it for Chameleon, but use it as like a mask that he has on like a little display head.
You could also use that head print for like Sub-Zero.
You had Sub-Zero, I have Scorpion.
Mr. Knight, let's just take a minute and appreciate how cool that fish tank piece is.
That'd be great for a Finding Nemo custom.
I guess the head, I was thinking of a character from DC Comics, Night Runner.
The head also looks like Wii Fit Trainer to me.
I wanted to use the torso and maybe the legs for CP0 members from One Piece.
Do you mind if I go on a quick white suit comic characters lightning round?
And go for it.
Mr. Negative, Black Mask, Khonshu, Kingpin, all of those would be perfect for this torso and legs.
Colonel Sanders.
Did you know that Colonel Sanders is a canonical DC character? There was a whole series of Colonel Sanders comic books published by DC, including such beloved classics as The Colonel of Two Worlds, Worlds, Green Lantern co-starring Colonel Sanders, and the Colonel Corps. He went into the Sanders verse, pretty much. One of them is just a chicken. So I guess what you could do is take Mr. Knight's head off and put the owl on top, because everything goes back to the owl.
Up next is She-Hulk.
I have not read or watched My Hero Academia in a long time, but there is a character named Shiozaki whose hair would match really well with She-Hulk's long, dark green hair.
I'm thinking like the head could be used for Fiona, for all the Shrek people out there.
That's
Ooh,
everybody.
yeah.
Excuse me, all the Shrek people? That's all the people.
Some people actually can't stand Shrek, which it's like, I don't understand. It's such a solid flick. But you could also use the head for Poison Ivy. I feel like in every video I recommend a piece for Poison Ivy. But you can use this head for for Poison Ivy, even like Miss Martian.
That's actually perfect. The pieces that really caught my attention were the arms. I really want to use them for Brainiac 5.
Werewolf by Night.
I do not know anything about Attack on Titan, but I have a friend who does. They mentioned that it looked just like Beast Titan. I don't know what that means, but I looked up Beast Titan, and yeah, it's pretty spot on.
The head and hair combo could be used for Calabac from DC.
Mr. Tumnus?
I was thinking of maybe using the torso for a Minotaur.
Another Doctor Who option could be Morbius. Not that Morbius. I'm gonna say the controversial option here and say that you could use him for a werewolf, specifically the Universal Wolfman, and then the head with the smiley face would be great for a Michael J. Fox in the classic Teen Wolf.
I do have another wolf idea, actually. Timberwolf from Legion of Superheroes.
Now we've done werewolf, 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 werewolf. Oh no, there's an echo in the room. I just want to say, first off, my favorite character of all time from anything is Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon. And I am always looking for new pieces to make like the perfect Hiccup custom. Echo is getting pretty close with her prosthetic leg.
Those arms, I think that they would work really well for a firebender character.
I really do like that skin tone. I was thinking like maybe even Wonder Woman. Or you could also use it for like biblical characters too.
The smirk is a little weird for a biblical character, but I see what you're thinking there.
Two names that came to my mind were like Ruth and Esther.
Ruth's face when she sees Boaz. You could kind of use her torso for Astrid, also from How to Train Your Dragon. The head would work really well for Sasha Calle's Supergirl. And then her hairpiece with the long braids and stuff. It's not an exact match by any stretch, but I think it could work for Lucio from Overwatch.
You could also use the Echo figure basically as a whole for live action style Nia from Ninjago.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, did you know that I was also going to say you could use this head for Nicole Scherzinger?
The sass.
Any ideas for Goliath?
I know that a lot of people are going to be using these parts for clone troopers, specifically like ARC troopers.
The torso and the mask makes a pretty good minifigure version of Motoro Mari from Bionicle.
Yes.
Another robot thing you could do is Mirage from Transformers. The helmet, going back to My Hero Academia actually, could work very well for Tenye Ida.
Arkham Knight. You could use the head for like Joe West from
Joe.
CW's The Flash, Bloodsport from Suicide Squad, or like even Bronze Tiger.
Aaron Davis from Spider-Verse.
Frozone during the Where's My Supersuit scene.
That goes into the last three with the X-Men. Wolverine.
The Cowl Hawk Girl is always a go-to. The legs, you could use them for Booster Gold. An idea that I had for the head was Monitor from DC Comics.
Have you guys ever heard of the video game Brutal Legend?
No.
I do not think I have.
It is a metal-themed video game starring Jack Black as this character named Eddie Riggs. The character model is Jack Black's head on a really buff body, but he has these sideburns or these mutton chops, and he's got like a soul patch. So the stubble, it's serviceable for the character. I really like that we're getting arm hair printing. It actually works well for Ash Williams in Evil Dead 2.
I really like the head with the mutton chops. First one that came to mind was Vandal Savage from DC Comics, and then Fezzik from The Princess Bride. As they say in The Princess Bride,
Have fun storming the castle.
and that brings us to Storm. I think that the giant swooping cape would be really funny for a Mojo Dojo Casa House Ken. Holden, what about you?
Storm's head, I'm thinking of the Electro Titan from Clash of Clans.
Her eyes have a slight blue tint, which reminded me of the Fremen from Dune. So this head could probably be used for the 2021 version of Liet Kynes.
Starfire from the live-action Titan show. Another one that I came up with is Sojourn, another Overwatch character. And then that mohawk hairpiece would be really good for Drift from Fortnite.
The hair, I was thinking like maybe Livewire or like Rebirth Count Vertigo. The armor piece, I've been wanting this piece in white for the longest time, for the female version of Dr. Light.
For the hairpiece, I am likely going to use it for the character Kong from One Piece.
You named Kong, who is a beast. Do you know who else is a beast?
Ooh!
Beast! Holden, I want you to go first because you have some of my favorites.
Okay, the hair. Mario fans, Ludwig.
You posted that in the group chat, and I immediately was like, I see the vision. This is one of the best uses I have heard in a long time.
Some more ideas for the hair. Blue Jay from DC Comics, Thing 1 and Thing 2. Another idea is Moon Boy for the head, Sully from Monsters Inc.
Okay, what do you have?
I was thinking of using his head in particular to make the Werehog version of Sonic from Sonic Unleashed.
A character that I thought of is Incineroar from Pokemon, specifically the blue-colored alt skin from Smash Bros. The hair, I thought you could combine that with Storm's cape and make Princess Ruto from The Legend of Zelda. The weird shape of the hair also reminds me of Foxy from One Piece. The flip side of the head works really well for Jinbei, also from One Piece. Minus some glasses, but hey, Jinbei's well read. And then there's just a bunch of buff blue dudes you could use his torso for. Dr. Manhattan, the Tick, A-Bomb from Marvel, and then finally, Cookie Monster, but swole.
I think that takes the cake. Or the cookie.
No, it takes the carrot.